with the data.
Hi, guys. Good evening. Let me try this. Okay, so I'm still using Restream. I like it. Let me know if you guys can hear me loud and clear. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Hi, Mary. Hi, Katalia. Hello. Loud Pack, Peter, all the way from Australia. Dana, how come a long way from those morning shows back in your beginning with Star? You are shiny. Thank you. Yeah, a lot of hard work and dedication and drive. All right, guys. So let me know if you can hear me loud and clear. Um, so it's Wednesday, and I said that I need to start doing Wednesdays and Friday shows and be consistent with it, right? So I'm here today. Hi, Detroit City Man. And of course, we have to talk about Fanning because yesterday was Fulton County election. They had elections throughout the whole state of Georgia yesterday. But the one that everybody across this nation was watching was Fani Willis primary. It was just a primary. It wasn't the main election, right? Because that election to determine if she's going to stay DA or not is in November, and she has a Republican challenger. And from today, Wednesday, May 22nd, until what, November the 4th or the 6th, I will be rooting for Courtney Kramer for DA of Fulton County. Yes. We still going to be dragging Mammy because Mammy may be in handcuffs. Fanny Mammy, she may be in handcuffs if she can't pull up the receipts with the federal funding, how she spent those federal fundings. But we'll get into all that. So yeah. So gotta talk about her acceptance speech. And as you guys could see in the title, her boo thing was there celebrating with her. Yeah. Yeah. You know, he was right up in the mix, even though she claimed they broke up and it's been over since last year. You know, Nathan Wade, she claims no one's above the law, but bitch, you think you are. So, I want to first start off with the interview she did Monday on Rachel Maddow. Rachel Maddow is, what do you call it? I will call her like an extreme liberal. Like she's way out there with that, right? Not stupid, but she's not all that intelligent either. Oh, also I want to touch on briefly Kelly Rowland out in Cannes, France, honey, checking her what do you call it? The French Karen. That's what they calling her. And then I want to bring up Cameron on CNN. But anyway, I want to start off with Rachel Maddow. Let me do something here. I want to play that video. I want to play the Rachel Maddow video. Guys, hit the like button and share, share, share. Where is it? Oh, it's right here. Okay, do I want it this way or should I have it this way? I guess I could have it that way. So this is Fani Willis. I don't understand why she chose to go on MSNBC the day before the primary. It's only a primary. So why are you on national news talking about you as a DA, talking about the election and why people should vote for you? It's only a primary. You are already up in the polls. She beat, I forgot that guy name. She beat him by 89%. So, you know, why are you in front of the cameras like that? Doing more race baiting.
Let me start by asking you
Let me
about
know if you guys can hear it
what your life
or not.
has been like and how things have changed over the course of this past year. I know you have bodyguards. I know you had to leave your home because of ongoing threats against you. I saw footage last week at an event honoring the South Fulton police. You got a little bit emotional, thanking the police for having kept you safe in what has been a remarkably threatening environment for you. I wondered, what effect the sort of constant threat of violence that you've been living with has had on you and on your ability to do your work?
Thank you for asking. Not many people ask about what is the personal journey that's been going on. And it really hasn't been happening in the last year. It's been happening since about a month after I took office. From the time I took office, I began to get threats. Those threats come in the way of emails. Those threats come in the way of phone calls, text messages, any which way you can imagine. At some point, the threats became where I had to leave my home. And I've been out of my home since the first year in office. They've come from a variety of sources. One of the first things that ever happened was there was a protest at my house at 5 o'clock in the morning. People mad because the last administration had left police cases, lots of them, and they wanted immediate action on them. And so that was the first thing that kind of happened. But the threats have certainly been about lots of different kinds of cases that I've prosecuted. People are very unhappy with them because of some recent cases that most of them are racial in nature. It has cost me to leave my home financially. I'm paying for, my mortgage because I refuse to give up the home where I raise my children, but also paying for another establishment. And I have 24-hour really protection around me. So it's a very interesting way to live, but it's well worth it. To have the honor of being the first female district attorney in Fulton County, it pales in comparison to what
Oh, honey, I didn't realize this was 7 minutes.
my victims are going through. And the reality is one of the reasons we are upsetting people is we are so successful here in Fulton County. I have the third largest crime drop in America. We have it because we're taking a balanced approach, both unapologetically going after gangs and violent criminals and anyone who should violate the law in my county, but we're also doing programs. And so it has been a huge sacrifice, but it's well worth it for my community.
We spoke, you did an interview with me earlier in your tenure, and we talked about what it was like to become a national lightning rod and to attract not just all the attention that a district attorney in a big place like Fulton County is always going to get locally for all of the important issues that affect the people of Fulton County, but to become a household name around the country, including by people who decided they were going to make your life hell for having brought one particularly very high-profile case. Do you feel like you've changed over the course of this term in office, over the course of this 4 years, in terms of having to develop new skills, new resources, develop a thicker skin than you might not have expected when you took this case when you ascended to office January 1st, 2020?
This job has certainly made me closer to God because you have to go into prayer often. So that's just the truth. So that's a positive, right? When you're getting closer to God. But I can't explain to you how much I love the work that I do. To be more resilient, to dig deeper, to work harder. But what it has not done is deter me from my work.
Since offered that if the Republican-controlled legislature in Georgia comes after you with this new investigative committee that they seem to have formed specifically to come after you, with some of the other ways that they seem to be targeting you, that if you need legal representation of a specialty form as part of the way they're coming after you through the legislature, that he will represent you in those matters. I just wanted to ask if that's your understanding and what you make of that, those interactions that you've had with former Governor Barnes.
No, district attorneys, because they want to about it last time. Georgia had never had a prosecutorial oversight committee, and all of a sudden, 14 reasons for wanting to come after me. I don't know if you remember,
Governor Barnes.
No, Governor Barnes is my attorney. They have decided in Georgia that they would like to come over after me. They use false reasons for wanting to come after me. I don't know if you remember, and I believe we talked about it last time. Georgia had never had a prosecutorial oversight committee, and all of a sudden, 14 minorities were elected to office to serve as district attorney. And now all of a sudden they need an oversight committee to look after district attorneys because they want to tell us how to prosecute and who to prosecute and where we should put our resources, as opposed to allowing the voters that put us in these seats to make those determinations. The voters in my community are very clear. that they want crime rid out of their communities, but they want it done both by removing violent offenders, which is what we have done. We've gone after gangs and we've worked with our police departments to do so. But they also want second chances for low-level offenders, and we have done those programs. What is so ironic is although it's only 14 of the 50 DAs in the state of Georgia, most of the citizens report to our jurisdictions. So although we're smaller in number than the other 36, most of the population has elected these minority DAs to serve them and has trusted their judgment. But apparently we now need daddy to tell us how to do our job.
All right, so I want to pause there. I didn't think the whole thing was 7 minutes, which is fine. I didn't want to play the whole 7 minutes, but it was that last part when she talked about the 14 minorities. Every time this woman gets up and talks about whatever, she always has to include race to defend herself from the allegations. You have a congressional committee building up a case against you, sending you a subpoena, subpoenaing you, wanting and told you have a deadline by May 29th or May 30th to submit a letter with a list of receipts of how you spent the $500,000 to, I guess, $1 million she got from federal funding. That has nothing to do with the 14 other minority DAs. Now, when you say the word minority, that does not mean that they're all Black. It could be Asian, it could be Hispanic. They're not under investigation. You are, because you had a role to prosecute Donald Trump. And you felt as though while you were prosecuting this man, that you could have a love affair at the same time with someone you employed to come work on the case, going on trips. And then it comes up, you are misusing state and federal funds. What happened to the money? Because all of these programs that you indicated which you needed the money for does not exist. So if you did not create the programs for the sexual assault women, to help those women, the juveniles, programs from them. If those programs do not exist, then what happened to the money that you was asking for? What happened to the money that you needed to prosecute the backlog cases? Where did you allocate that money to? So why are you throwing up the other 14 minority DAs? They're not under investigation. You are. They're not misusing money. You are, allegedly, until you can prove that, no, you got it wrong. I have not misused anything. You have not answered no type of subpoena. So why is she going on a national news television show, MSNBC, the day before the primary? You were already ahead of him, your challenger in the primary, another Democrat. I forgot his name because he's really irrelevant. You were already 80% ahead of him throughout the whole campaign. You didn't even show up to the debate. So why do you feel as though that you had to go the day before the election? Because you know you're guilty. So it wasn't about the election. It is about what you have to face starting today, May 22nd in 2024, the day after the election. This is the first day that everybody is gunning for your ass. This is the first day where you're going to have to figure out how I'm going to answer the congressional subpoena, because they're going to drag your ass in front of the House committee. And you're going to have to answer those questions or plead a fifth. But you're going to be in D.C. sitting in front of a committee with the cameras on you. So don't throw up the other minority DAs because they're doing their job. You're not. But anyway, she goes on to win yesterday's primary. Landslide, of course. She raised a whole bunch of money. She had all of the Black preachers in Fulton County support her, even though they were not supposed to, because they're supposed to be a 501c nonprofit organization. You had the Black sister girls supporting you, the VPs and the sororities all supporting you, right? And so she gives her victory speech. Let me find that. Where's the victory speech? Actually, let me go, I guess, here. But I want this as the background. Let me try this. Honey, I'll be playing with the colors. And during her victory speech, she once again talks about race. She actually accuses her Republican challenger to being a racist. Okay, here we go. I think I need to stop sharing. Go here. Or no, I don't want to go there. I don't want to share this thing again. No, I wanted this. Oh, I guess I got to go here. There we go. So this is the victory speech.
Atlanta, and we were saying, no, there is. And if you don't deal with reality, reality will deal with you. And so we put into effect a balanced approach.
No, I'm fast.
25%. Rape is down 49%. Some of you will say, the doubters will say, well, crime is down all over the country. Yeah, it's down 5%. We're doing something right here in Fulton, completely unqualified. And this balanced approach is working because we are making tremendous progress. But please understand, I'm just getting started. Making this community safer. And this election is bringing into focus very important matters about who matters. Should your safety depend on your zip code? What about your race? Should it depend on who you choose to love? Should it depend on if you're male or female? Bishop, I think it should apply to all of them. What you think, Bishop Jackson? I want you all to understand, hear it now. My opponent is completely unqualified. Completely. She has less than 4 years of practicing law. She has never been in a criminal courtroom. But while she is inexperienced and unqualified and does not represent the values of my county, don't get confused. She is a real threat because of who backs her and how they back her.
Let's pause right there because I'm going to play Courtney Kramer's response. So this is Fani Willis' victory speech, and I'm going to play it to the end because she's a little slick ass. She knows that she does have an uphill battle this upcoming November because now 80% of people in Fulton County who do vote in the primary, because the majority of people that are registered to vote, they don't necessarily vote during a primary. But those people who vote during a primary, 80% chose Fani Willis. Who are those 80%? Because mind you, Fulton County is 75% Black. So who are those Black folk that don't see nothing wrong with this woman, who believe she's doing a good job? Well, these are the Black people that believe in the Democrat Party. They're on a Democrat plantation and they believe Trump is a racist, right? And this is the woman that's supposed to bring him down, but white supremacy, was trying to bring her down. So those are the people that voted for her during a primary. But the general election in November, that's when everybody, including the people who vote during a primary and the people who do not, young, old, it does not matter. That's when everybody get out and vote, because now they're going to be coming out voting for the presidency as well. I'm doing a show. I'll call you right back. So, sorry. So what's going to happen, another scandal probably is going to come out. She's going to be sitting in front of a congressional committee answering those questions or pleading the fifth. And if she pleads the fifth, that's going to look bad for her. She has an uphill battle. So she's throwing out all the negatives about Courtney Kramer, the Republican. Oh, you know who she's backed by, I guess, Trump, the Republicans. She's young, I think 30 something. She only has 4 years experience, I guess, being a lawyer. It doesn't matter. You're nervous and you know you have a big chance of not winning because you relied on older Black people, the old Black oligarchs, the gatekeepers, the preachers, and the people that go to church on Sundays to vote in the primary. The problem is when November comes around, you're going to have people like me. You're going to have younger people who don't listen to the preachers, who don't go to church, right? And who are more independent thinkers.
She does not have allegiance to the people of my county. She has allegiance to politics and the powerful's interests. Oh, y'all read between the lines. She doesn't believe that everyone is afforded equal protection of the law. She doesn't believe in accountability. She will not do the hard work that is required of a district attorney that wants to make Fulton safer. And I want you to understand, this work is hard. Now, some say that we must choose between safety and justice, but I'm here to tell you they are wrong. What they are really saying, I want y'all to hear me. What they are really saying is that certain people matter less, that certain people's children matter less. I reject that. We cannot.
Who are the certain people? She always try to make everything about Black, white.
Accept violence against anyone, including the impoverished, including minorities, including homosexuals, transsexuals, not anyone, and not women.
Okay, that rant she just did she one time mention Black men, young Black boys? Because she claims that crime is down. But look at the Fulton County jails. It's a mess. It's scandalous. You have people being murdered and you're trying to cover it up. They're filled with majority Black men. Where are the programs for these men when they come out? Where is their constitutional rights to where they are getting a court date in the time frame that they are allowed? She mentioned women, she mentioned trans, she mentioned gay, but she did not mention Black boys and Black men. But these are the people who you encounter with going through the criminal justice system. And that is a major indicator of who her allegiance is to.
As Matthew chapter 25, verse 45 says, truly I tell you, whatever you did not do for one of the least of these, you didn't do for me.
Goodbye.
But as we have labored in the vineyards of justice, I have been under constant attack. Y'all, they done called me everything but a child of God.
Because that's what you are.
But this is the fire that we are made from. All the attacks in the world can't stop us, and they will not stop us. This is a fight for safety. It's a fight for justice. But it's a fight for the rule of law. And we are just at the beginning of this fight. So I ask you to dig deep and keep fighting. Y'all missed it. It's a store in the back. I want to thank my supporters. I want to thank my daughters who have gone to Sheriff Labatt for all, and that I had your support. From my pastor, Pastor Pollard, I love you and your wife. Thank you for taking. I want to deeply thank the brave women and men who serve as district attorneys and investigators in this county. Can y'all get them around? Jeremy Howard Harris. Thank you to my children for giving me the inspiration. So, ladies and gentlemen, tonight, every now and then you get to stop and smell the roses. And tonight we're going to stop and smell these roses. We are going to celebrate. We're going to party. The DA drinking Grey Goose, in case anybody wondering.
Here we go with the bullshit. So listen, stop and smell the roses. And I'm just like, this woman sat up here. She make it seem like it's November. It is only a primary election. Let me reiterate that. Primary, it means nothing. Your opponent was irrelevant. I don't even remember his name. And actually, I do have his video clip, but I'm not going to play it because he did a press conference highlighting the misuse of the funding and her corruption. But it's like, dude, you should have did that a month ago. You should have been dragging her for the past 6 months. Well, when you decided to throw your hat in the ring. You wasn't going to win anyway, but at least it could have been a challenge. So she's saying this big old victory speech as if this is November. And she always tried to throw race into it. She threw up the Grey Goose. And guess who was in the audience? Nathan Wade. He was there celebrating with his boo. He gonna have the wine. She gonna have the Grey Goose. They never broke up. You know, they probably went to the hotel or back to her house. So I want to know, all you people in Fulton County, y'all sit up here and y'all complain, and I should have invited LA Pink on. Damn it. I definitely have to. It's okay, because I have to just be more consistent. I'm going to invite LA Pink next week, Wednesday, and maybe every Wednesday. Because every week we will be talking about Fani, whether it's a headline or not. Because I don't understand how y'all keep voting these type of people in office. This bitch is corrupt. Who said that you could use your blackness or you being a woman? Who told you that because Courtney Kramer is running for DA that she's a racist? First of all, the whole DA office, no matter where you go in this nation, y'all all are corrupt. Y'all all are racist, no matter what gender or what race you claim to be. We shouldn't trust none of y'all. But if you're saying that you want to do the right thing, then you need to make sure that you're doing the right thing. I think I need to be more sufficient with the transfer and other videos. I want to bring up Courtney Kramer, her response. Oh, and by the way, I received my YouTube plaque and I'm going to unbox it on Friday. I was going to do it today, but it's Wednesday. I want to do it on Friday because Friday would be like more of a fun show. So let me share. What is this? Okay, share screen. So this is Courtney Kramer responding to Fani Willis, saying that she's inexperienced.
So people should vote for me come November because, well, I kind of want to backtrack from that question, if you don't mind. So Fulton County has not had a Republican qualify for district attorney in over 30 years. I'm 30 years old. So basically in my whole lifetime, we haven't had a Republican qualify. And Fani Willis is the first female district attorney. So I know for a fact we haven't had a female qualify in well over 30 years, probably 50, probably 60. You do the math. Fulton County hasn't had a voice for who their next DA is going to be. We've always been told on the ballot come November, it's one name. It's whoever qualifies, right? So it will be the Democrat nominee. Normally it's Paul Howard and now Fani Willis. We haven't had a Republican, and I think conservatives deserve a voice, and Fulton County deserves a choice in who their next DA is going to be, especially given the political climate the last 4 years and 8 years under Paul Howard.
Why did you decide to run?
Because I just want to effectuate change. Every job I've ever held, every position I've ever held is always, the goal is to effectuate change for the better. I'm born and raised in Fulton County. I've seen the decline of Fulton County under a Fani Willis administration, under a Paul Howard administration, and that's exactly why I decided to run. It's not safe anymore. People don't want to live here anymore. I don't think that's fair for the voters. I don't think it's fair for the citizens, and I think that, like I said, Fulton deserves a choice.
Are there any changes that people should expect if you were to be elected?
100%. You will have absolute transparency if I am elected, and accountability. I don't think we have that right now. We don't know where our money is going to. As a taxpayer, I have no idea where my money is going to. We get told vaguely where our money is going to and what it's being used for, but that's not really the case. If you talk to our Board of Commissioners in Fulton County, the current administration in the DA's office will request money, and that money will not be used for what it was supposed to be allocated for. That's a problem. We have to have accountability and transparency in this office, and that's exactly what I would bring to this office.
Last night on Rachel Maddow, Fani Willis said that you were challenging her, but you didn't really have many qualifications to actually take the office. What would your response to that be?
My response to that, and I watched that today actually, and I kind of giggled, but my response would be that in order to be, an attorney and especially a DA, you have to have a good head on your shoulders. You have to know the rules of professional conduct. You have to know when you have a conflict of interest, and I have that. Fani Willis has proven that she does not have that. So qualification-wise, it's ironic to me that she says that, because you have to be qualified to manage an office. You have to be qualified to manage people and know who is the best person for that office. And I'm 100% qualified in that regard. So that's what my response would be to her.
What about in terms of criminal defense prosecution? Do you have any experience with that, or how would you handle that if you were elected?
So in regards to that, I was, and she said it last night, I've been practicing for 4 years. But under our Constitution, you have to be a barred attorney for 3 years. So if our legislator wanted to up that requirement, they very well could. And when I was in law school, I worked under Mike Carlson and Vic Reynolds in the DA's office in Cobb County. I've learned a lot in that office. I helped produce Carlson Rules of Evidence the last couple of years. I also would say that in regard to criminal prosecution, you have to know who you would hire. You have to know who the head of your offices would be. You have to know what ADAs you would hire. I know exactly who those people would be. I can't say that right now, but I know exactly who those people would be because I'm so connected with that community and in the community in Fulton County in general.
I think one of the biggest questions on people's mind when they see a Republican challenging her for that office, would you continue the prosecution against the former president?
So I've said it before, and I'll say it again on your show. I would recuse myself. I have to recuse myself because I was involved with President Trump. I was an intern in the White House, and then I was also an attorney for a couple of the defendants and a litigation consultant during the 2020 election. So I would recuse myself from that case.
Anything else that you think people should know?
I think that this race, everyone's talking about Republican versus Democrat, but it's not about that. This race is about not right versus left. It's about right versus wrong. And that's what I think Fulton County needs to know.
Okay. So this is her challenger this November. And listen, I will be promoting Courtney Kramer. I think she would be a better person for the job. What did somebody say? Yeah, that this chick sounds way more professional than Fanny Pack. She does. She does. And she said, listen, I will recuse myself if the Trump Georgia election case is still going on. Rightfully so. Fani Willis is not trying to recuse herself, and that shit is all tainted. Is Fani Willis going to recuse herself when she get called in front of Congress? See, I'm waiting for that day to happen, and it's going to happen. It's going to happen. So now you have this wave of Black people going to the Republican side, more so for Trump. But I wonder, are Black people voting Republican when it comes to the DA, when it comes to Congress, or are you just voting Republican when it comes to the presidency, right? Because if you want to vote for a Republican presidency, you need to look down ballot and examine who are these other candidates on the Republican side and on the Democrat side and on the independent. Georgia, and I just pulled it up, Fulton County is 43% Black and 38.4% white, 7.6% Asian, 8.1% Hispanic / Latino, and 1% other, 4% two or more races, 0% Native or Islanders, right? So the thing is, I thought it was more Black people there. However, white people are voting for Fani Willis. She knows how to play that game. But, and I guess this is for all of Fulton County because it's pretty much split, right? It's mixed. Why are you sticking with Fani Willis? What has she done to improve the crime in Fulton County? What has she done to make sure that people are able to exercise their constitutional rights? If you have a loved one that is sitting in a Fulton County jail, look at how they're being treated. If you have a lot of youth running around on the streets with nothing to do, look at how she's allocating the funding. She's not setting up initiatives or programs. Now she's focusing more so on women and LGBTQ, but not the Black boys, not the Black men. So maybe I need to ask the Black men of Fulton County, are you still going to continue to vote for Fani Willis when she does nothing for you? Her focus is not on you or the youth. Now, it doesn't matter what somebody's skin color is. You could go to this white woman and she most likely would do more and get the job done than Fani Willis. So I'm just tired of Black people constantly voting race. I'm tired of that. Sheriff LaButte won. Again, it could be rigged. Maybe she rigged the polls, possibly. Unboxed with Judge Joe Brown Coles. I might unbox the box with him. I might. But let me share this one last thing and then I'm gonna go on a camera, right? Cause this her boo, honey. Her boo was at the party. Oh, we're not together. In his eyes, we broke up in April, May. But with women, we need to have the talk. So in my eyes, we ain't break up till August. Bitch, you said you broke up with this man. Why is he at your celebration party when both of y'all was dragged? His wife exposed him. He hasn't been paying the alimony or the child support. He recused himself from the Trump case that got your ass in trouble and continue to put you in hot water. Is corruption because of him? You spent taxpayer dollars taking this nigga to Belize and on cruise ships, paying for every goddamn thing. And he shows up at your victory party for a primary. All smiles. That's an insult to the taxpayers of Fulton County. They like, we don't give a fuck. And I'm about to hit that tonight. Yeah, she's sipping on that Grey Goose. She want her back blown out. I don't know why Fani think that because she won a primary that we're going to just stop talking about her. No, this is the beginning. This is the beginning of the second act of the downfall of Fani Willis. And I'm here for it. He just looks sleazy. All smiles. And it's only a primary. It's only a primary. Who does that for a primary? He showed up for another check. Yeah. Fani cares if you talk. Yes, she does. Yes, she does. That's why she went on MSNBC. Because when I talk about her, I don't talk about her by myself. I talk about her and I have Judge Joe Brown sitting next to me. And he digs, he dissects it all, dissertation it all. Yes. And then we bring people from the community on the show exposing all her dirty deeds. So yes, she cares. Yes, I'm gonna reach out to Courtney Kramer's camp to ask them if she want to come on for an interview. Yes, I'm going to be inviting more people from Fulton County. Yes. So she knows, she hears her people give her, oh, they talking about you. They give her clips. You know how many videos went viral of mine when me and the judge talking about her? That's why they try to do stuff behind the scenes towards the judge. Because he be spitting facts on the legal aspect of it. She's a crook. So yeah, that bitch watching. Like, people think, oh, you don't get a lot of views, blah, 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 blah. They watch. It's not about a whole lot of views. You got to understand the right people are watching. And they watch this channel. Heavy. So yeah, she cares. What? I'm about to go viral again when she missed that deadline to give Congress a list of receipts that she has to give them to show what did she do with the money. She got into next week. And she's going to have to sit in front of a House Congressional Committee. I'm going to be live with that on C-SPAN. Hi, Southern Belle. And you know what? And it helps me to get back into the groove of things every Wednesday and Friday. Every Wednesday and Friday. I have to get refocused. I got to get back on my grind and promote me. All right. So enough with the Mammy Fani. I want to go to Cameron. Because when I do these Wednesday shows, it's only like an hour or 90 minutes tops. And maybe I'll drop I'm sick of people voting. Yes. Maybe I'll drop the link if anybody want to come up. So let's go here. First of all, I love It Is What It Is sports podcast with Cameron and Mace and Stat Baby. Cameron is a hustler, even Mace. And I've always been a fan, more so of Cameron, not so much of Mace, but I respect the hustle. But he's been in the entertainment industry for over 20 years. And he continues to make money on the front end and the back end and in between. He knows how to work the media. He's an expert at it. I would love to have a conversation with him to pick his brain. I would pay him to have a consultation. But anyway, he was on C-SPAN Monday night. And honey, he went viral because they keep asking him about the Diddy shit. Oh, matter of fact, no, I'll do Kelly. I'm sorry, I skipped. But I'll go into Cameron anyway.
Thanks for being here. First, when you saw that video of Diddy, Cassie in that hotel, did you recognize that Sean Combs?
What I want to say, first of all, when I seen the video, everything in the video was egregious. I'm against. I don't support all the charges that's alleged against him. I don't support any of that trafficking, minors, domestic violence. I'm totally against it. So when I seen the video, yeah, I was kind of upset with it. Being that I know him, he's not necessarily a friend, but yeah, I was upset when I seen it. But
did you
as far as
recognize
everything
him?
I just said,
Did you recognize that kind of anger at all from your
I don't
experiences?
know him like that. What did you mean? Do I be recognized? Did I recognize him? I seen him. What do you mean my experiences? I seen him and I thought it was disgusting. I didn't do a zoom in to see if it was really him or nothing, but he admitted it was him. So yeah, it was him.
What did you think about the apology that he gave in that other video?
Ain't me for this. The apology ain't for me to decide, it's for Cassie. What I think about it don't matter. He ain't do nothing to me. Cassie need to ask Cassie if she accept the apology. I told you how I feel. I said what I said.
I want to play a conversation that you had on your podcast back in September with Mace. Listen.
Yeah.
When you had your record deal, why did you take me to Biggie Smalls and not Bad Boy?
Man, it's almost gonna bring me to tears to say this. I just, being that I saw you as such a good friend, I wanted to put you with somebody I knew with.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate that. A lot of people ask me that on Instagram,
I knew
man.
with Biggie
Don't have me that's out here crying and shit, man. I don't want to get emotional in here, man.
Instantly, I knew Biggie would do right by you.
Can you tell us a little bit more about that? I mean, is there something known in the industry about how Diddy treated his artists?
So I'm going to get some cheeks after this horsepower joint. I'm just going off what Mace said. Mace took me to Biggie. I don't really know Puffers like Mace know Puff. So I appreciate what Mace said. And of course, that's my brother. So if he felt that way, then he felt that way. I can't really tell you how Puff moves or anything like that. Mace may know better than me because he was signed to Puff. I wasn't. But my show does come on at 8 a.m. Eastern on YouTube. It's called It Is What It Is. And y'all make sure y'all check it out. I mean, I might get some more information out of Mace from there. But for me to tell you how Puff act and all that, I don't know. I never was signed to him.
Yeah. What about the industry in general? I mean, so many people have pointed out that Diddy couldn't get away with this stuff if there weren't a lot of people protecting him. Do you think that's the case?
Who the talent agent for this joint? Like, you think I'll be sitting around watching what Diddy do and all this? I didn't know this was a Diddy joint that y'all invited me to. Who booked me for this joint?
All right.
Wow, and I'll be sitting
Cameron,
around watching Diddy and all that. Yeah,
thanks.
Man, come on, man.
Thanks for joining us. Thank you for your time tonight.
Thank you for having me. You enjoy.
Thanks for being here.
Look, honey. That was so funny because it's like, dude, y'all, first of all, let me say this, going to segue into the Diddy. Y'all dragging this Diddy thing to the ground. And I'm sorry, content creators, yes, you making money off it. That's why you keep doing it. But everybody are hypocrites. I'm calling it the Diddy hypocrisy. And Cameron, he's the only one that kept it a buck. He was like, listen, that's for Cassie to accept his apology or not. I'm not checking for that dude. I'm not watching him. I'm not concerned about what he's doing or what he's not doing. Why you keep asking me about him? I have nothing to do with that. He's not my friend, never been my friend. I know of him or know him through the industry, and that's it. And that's why, like, yeah, when he's drinking his horsepower, he about to get some cheeks. He knows how to work the media for his benefit, plugging your shit so that people could buy it because you know it's going to go viral, right? He knows what he's doing. Some people's like, oh, he was acting ignorant. No, he was not. He was giving them, no, he was making sure that it benefited him. CNN, they're full of shit. You know what I'm saying? They ask stupid questions. They're liberal as hell. They deal with all Democrat talking points. So he's like, yeah, why am I here? I don't want to talk about Diddy. I don't give a goddamn what that man doing. No, I didn't like that. Who would? What sane person would like to see a woman get beat on? But why the fuck do I care about that apology? That's not for me. That's for Cassie. And then he put his plug in, horsepower. He about to get some cheeks. He was like, who was the talent agent that booked this? I loved it. And just to get on Diddy real quick, the Diddy conversation, all y'all people in the industry, all y'all people that's talking, that worked for him, whether it was before Cassie or after, whether it's the Jaguars or the Jaguar rights, Gene Deal, all y'all motherfuckers, y'all knew the type of man he was. Jaguar Wright, she wasn't no star. So the fact is that even if she would have came out back then and said something, it would have fell on deaf ears. So I'm not going to include her. But the fact is that it was so many executives, so many artists, so many of his friends, of his relatives. You knew the demonic behavior of Diddy. You know, and for us, the regular people in the public, the general population, you all know or have known of a woman beater, even some men beaters. You know people who have been in domestic violence situations and did nothing and said nothing. Why are you focus on Cassie? Cassie is not the only woman in the world that has ever dealt with this. There are other women that is dealing with it right now as we speak. So why are we not having a conversation about domestic violence, about better laws, maybe extending statute of limitation when it comes to domestic violence, programs, therapy for people who experience it, getting help for the single mothers or women who don't have money to leave? Why we're not talking about the aftercare, the preventive measures that you can take in the industry and outside of the industry to make sure that this doesn't continue to go on at a high rate, because you don't care. People don't really care about women's safety. Because if you did, the conversation would shift from Diddy and we would be talking about domestic violence. And he wasn't the only one. Everybody is guilty who was part of Diddy's camp and saw what was going on and said nothing. You're all guilty. You're all guilty. That's that on the Diddy. Actually, I don't know. I'm going to see if you guys feel like it. I'm going to drop the link real quick. I have to get back into doing more shows by myself. I have to. Oh my God. I did a Twitter space. Me and the judge did a Twitter space yesterday, 6.5 hours. It was open mic. It was good, but it was long. But it didn't feel like 6 hours until like 2 a.m. That's when I started getting tired. All right. So this is the last thing I want to talk about. Kelly Rowland, honey. Kelly Rowland's in Cannes, France. And she had to check a French Karen on the red carpet in her gown, decked out. And I want to play the clip.
Hey, y'all look good, bitch. Hey. Hey. Oh, that's your fault, baby. That's your fault. No, that's your fault. Don't touch me. Don't touch me and don't talk to me like that. Don't talk to me like that, bitch. Don't talk to me like that. I'm not no child. Don't talk to me like that, bitch. The fuck?
So news outlets, honey, had to get lip readers. And the lip readers, right, were basically saying, don't talk to me like that. You are not my mother. So we don't know exactly what that woman said, but apparently she was trying to quickly move Kelly Rowland through the red carpet into the entrance of the building. But Kelly Rowland wanted to pose and take pictures, for the paparazzi and wave to her fans. And you had these handlers forcing her to move along. Let me see if I can move this over. No, I can't. Let me make this like this. Yeah. So she had to, put the finger up, put the black girl finger up. Get the fuck out my face. Who you think you talking to? You are not my mother. So she had to check the French Karen. I was speaking to a colleague of mine earlier, and we both agree when you go outside America to other countries, especially in Europe, they are a little bit rough or aggressive, but we may take it as impolite, but they're just working. They don't. It's not like they're trying to be mean or insult you, but it don't matter because she's a celebrity. She has to wave to her fans. She has to pose for the paparazzi. Why are you moving her along so quickly? Is it because it was a bigger star behind her? So yeah, she had to check the French Karen. That was funny. I found it funny. So I wanted to share. What is this? Oh, that's that. Yeah. And some people may think sometimes with Kelly Rowland, like she thinks she's bigger than what she is. Like, of course, she is not Beyonce, but she is part of the Destiny Child's legacy. Miss Thing is set for life. Yes, she is. She don't have to never worry about a check. She don't even have to make another album and she's good. However, you are not Beyonce. You are not a world star, worldwide star. Like you're not top notch, but you are Kelly Rowland. You are a celebrity and you have a fan base. You have a following and people love you. So yeah, like, bitch, don't be rushing me on the red carpet. I just thought that was funny. I did drop the link. I guess nobody wants to come up, which is fine. But I do want to tell you guys at 9 o'clock, I will be premiering a video about the chaos in Congress. Yes, I'm still riding on Jasmine Crockett. She's another one. She's another mammy. Marjorie Taylor Greene, she's ghetto too. I call her Miss Ozark. So check out the video that's going to premiere at 9 p.m. Yeah, you know what? I may have to start pushing the Wednesday show either in the afternoon or at 8 o'clock. 7 p.m. is still kind of early. She looked better than Beyonce. I don't think so. Some people do think Kelly Rowland looked better than Beyonce. I don't think she does. I think Beyonce looked better than Kelly Rowland. I think Kelly Rowland, honestly, I think Kelly Rowland is more phony than Beyonce. If it was like a phony meter, who's the most phoniest, I think it would be Kelly Rowland. Let me tell you something. Brown skin girls and dark skin girls, they are very conceited. Very. Every dark skinned woman, every brown skinned woman that I've known and came across, beautiful. And they know it. They are very conceited. Very. Kelly was jealous. I don't know. I don't think so. I think Kelly knew her place and she knew she was never going to be big like Beyonce, but she didn't care as long as she knew she was going to be financially set for life. Yeah, she is a natural beauty. She is. Toni Braxton is between light skin and brown skin. All right, guys. It's been cute. Tomorrow is Man Up Thursdays. And then I'm going to come back Friday because Friday is like I will emphasize more on fun stuff to talk about. But I am going to unbox it on Friday. I'm not going to do it tomorrow with the judge because that's going to be like the title for Friday's show, me unboxing the plaque. Oh, I'm hot. I think I put too much rouge on. So, yeah. I will be at the show tomorrow for a little while. Okay, DJ. See, I need to come on now. Come on. If anybody want to come on, click the link now. Y'all got 5 minutes. And while I wait, let me play with some stuff here. Let's see You know what? I like this background better. The movement. They all got surgery. Kelly Rowland too. She's a little bit more natural than Beyonce because Beyonce is too goddamn perfect. But they all have personal chefs. They all have personal trainers, right? So when you have wealth and a lot of money, you can invest more in your body and your looks. But of course, Beyonce went over a knife. She did a little suction. Like, I'm about to get some suction under here, honey. Yes, and a little bit here. I'm about to get like a thread facelift. Like, so it's not a facelift where they do surgery, but it's threading. So it's like non-surgical. You know, you get your eyebrows thread. You can now get your face thread up. So up and suck in here and lift here. Yes. I'm investing in myself, honey, because I'm not getting any younger, but I need to look younger. Beyonce had 100 BBL. Her ass is too perfect. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And we will never know her doctor, honey. We will never know her plastic surgeon. And I want to know who that man is or woman. Do you remember the show called Starting Over with Dark Skin Brass? No, I don't. That was a show. Dana, will you be coming to DC this year? No, I will not. I have my podiatrist is in DC, but I'm not coming here to see him this year. So I won't be there. You mean for that reparations rally? No. All right. So none of y'all's not coming on. So I'm about to go. Check out my video that's premiering at 9 p.m. And I will see you guys tomorrow for Man Up Thursday. Bye. Let me see something. Okay. Okay. All right, guys. Have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.